classic hit that Raquel, In a Dream. Great song. You listen to your show, Music Without Borders. Now, this next song has nothing to do with you, but it was a request by you guys. And it looks like I'm running out of requests. And that's okay, because then I get to play whatever I want to play. Don't get me wrong, I want to play your stuff first. Um, but I have no problem with like filling in and trying to see what's going on here. But I like this mood. That was really nice going there. You know, what was it? 80s, late 80s stuff. Nice dance floor stuff. Okay, here we go. You're No Good, Linda Ronstadt. A star material on Music Without Borders. Linda Rush said, "You're No Good." Of course, I've heard that song a million times, but not in 30 years. Um, uh, look, I actually do have a pretty good memory, and I'm a singer-songwriter, music producer, whatever, right? Teacher, and blah 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 blah, music theory expert, and I totally don't remember um, analyzing that middle part or the ending for that matter. I don't remember the middle part. I don't remember the ending. That tells me that I haven't heard it in over 30 years since I was a kid. So I started studying music like very seriously in my 20s, and then after 8 years, I gave myself a PhD or whatever. But it's I'm still working on it. Don't get me wrong. But this is the gauge why I give a star and stuff. Of course, I know the song, but when I listen to music nowadays, it's kind of jaded me a little bit. That's why I love finding stuff that I haven't heard because I never analyzed that song before. And that's how I know that I haven't heard it in over 30 years. I don't, at the risk of repeating myself, I'm trying to explain it to myself as well. Great song. Big hit as we went, but that middle part was weird. I was a little bit outside there, and the ending was weird as well. I was like, a seed. I felt like I was in the 60s or something. Maybe that was 70s music. Great. Speaking of 70s music, Black Magic. Santana. Okay, I got to talk for a second about Santana. Number one, if I was like whatever at some I don't know trivia thing or whatever, and someone says, "Who sang Black Magic Woman?" I would fail. Clink. Cheers from Venice Beach, Florida. Anybody know who sang it without cheating? I cheated to find the answer, but does anybody really know who the singer is? You have to be like a real huge fan. Who sang that song? Anybody can Google it. That's the point. That point. My point is that I wouldn't know it. So I'll tell you. I'll put myself out of the misery. So I looked it up, and Greg Raleigh. Never heard of him before in my life. Greg Raleigh. He's a keyboard player and a lead singer for Santana. Never knew it. I've heard that song a million times, Black Magic Woman. I never ever thought, who's that guy who's singing it? That would be the trivia question that I would lose on. And I consider myself a music aficionado. There's only so much information I can put in my head. I don't know. I never even... This is why I love doing the show, because I actually have a chance to slow down. Instead of just jamming into it, I'm analyzing a little bit, and I'm going, hold on a second. And the follow-up is, that's a cover. Santana didn't even write it. Who wrote the original Black Magic Woman? I actually met the guy who wrote the song, which is why the story is kind of more interesting. Greg Raleigh, we'll forget about. But the song was written by a guy. I was in London after one of my rehearsals with my group Dearth. We had John Moss. That's why I got the Boy George thing there to remind me. John Moss was my drummer for 4 or 5 years. We hung around together and played really good gigs actually in London, and had a lot of fun together. We rehearsed 3 times a week and had a great band. And you can find all this stuff if you want it. Dearth. It's hard to, because when you type in Dearth on YouTube, it automatically translates into dirty. I guess that's what I was kind of thinking when I came up with the name of the group, DIRTH. If you type in Dearth, DIRTH, and then Alec Whittier, the channel you're watching, then you get to see it a lot. You'll find it a lot easier. And I put tons of stuff on there. So I'm hanging around after rehearsal, and John, we're at this pub in Hampstead, in London, and he says, "Hey, Alec, I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine." I says, "Who's that?" And he says, and this is the guy who wrote the song Black Magic Woman. He says, "Peter Green." And I was like, huh? Like, Peter Green? Fleetwood Mac? The guy who wrote Black Magic Woman? And I have my guitar with me, and Peter Green says, he says, "Show me your axe." And I pulled out my Gibson SG 1971. I spent a few bob on that one. It's still in London, but I had a good time. You see it on the videos and stuff. Great guitar. And he said, "May I?" And so I gave him. So Peter Green was jamming on my guitar. He says, "Whoa." So we shot the breeze over a pint. That was something that I'll never forget. Okay. Some people tell me they like my stories, so that's my story. So I'm telling them once in a while. Here we go. I've got Shalimar, The Bird, and now Ephraim Lewis, Drowning in Your Eyes.
Feel the ground, it's slipping away like a sigh. make it on your own. But you can't keep running away from love, 'cause the first one let you down. No, no, no. And the others try to satisfy you, baby. With me, your love can still be found. Love can still be found. The second time around. Ooh, the second time is so much better than the second time around. And I make it better than the first time. You know I really love you, and I paid for my mistakes. Yes, I did, girl. The more I try to hide my feelings, baby, the more heart gets in the way, and love won't let me wait. Second time around, girl, with me is better than the first time. Second time around, let's do it one more time. Say it again. Second time around, all that I've been through, I'll do it again, just as long as I'm with you. Second time around, the second time. I'll make it so good to you, babe. I'll make it so good to you. Not like the first time, not like the first time, not like the first time. Talking about the second time. Not like the first time, not like the first time, not like the first time. Talking about the second time. You can't keep running away from love, 'cause the first one let you down. And the others try to satisfy you, baby. With me, true love can still be found. The second time around, gonna keep your mind the second time, baby. The second time around, I'll know what to do, just as long as I'm with you. The second time around, do it one more time. Say it again. Second time around, gonna keep your mind the second time, baby. The second time around, so in love, so in love. The second time around.
Shalimar, Star Material on Music Without Borders. I know them from the 80s, in the dance music days, but I didn't know that they were a band that started in 1977. I did not know that. And that was actually their first single on their third record in 1979. That was not played on my radio stations in Massachusetts. I never ever heard that song before in my life, and I'm just telling you. And I knew how to find college radio stations and all that stuff in Massachusetts, where I grew up and stuff. When I first got my transistor radio and stuff, I decided to listen to every single radio station. I decided that I liked everything with notes, and I didn't like commercials. And people talking was kind of cool, but if it was a commercial, I would go to the next channel, and you got FM was what I was listening to. I didn't really get into AM, but FM I was really into. If I couldn't find anything on FM, then I would go to AM. I'll say it like that, but mostly AM. That was in the car. My mother used to love to listen to AM, so I go all the time in the 70s. She was AM. I was FM, but Shalimar, that was great. And I didn't know they were from Los Angeles. Very, 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 very cool. Okay, here's something cool as well. I think this is going to be another star. Elvis Presley doing this song.
I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I traveled each and every byway, oh, and more, much more than this, I did it my I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. Much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, oh no. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he is not. You see the words he truly feels. It's not the blood. The liquor shows. I took a blow.
Pompeia, Star Material on Music Without Borders. Never heard that song before in my life. Nice, nice, nice. 90 is the name of that track. Coming up next, we have something about Tic Tac Dough. Look, I remember the TV show Tic Tac Dough. For anybody who's not from USNA, that will go over your head, but that's coming up next. Right now, it's somebody who was correct. All you need to do is write the song down in the group once. You don't need to write it 100 times. Doesn't mean it's going to get there any faster. It's like, it's an old joke, right? When you're waiting for the elevator and you're like really late or whatever, and you press up and it doesn't come. So you press it a million times out of nervousness. Don't do that. It looks silly. It looks daft. You don't need to do that. And that's why the mod's going to say stop, whatever, right? Just write it down once. I'll get it. Sometimes I miss it. But you don't have to write it 10 times. I think that's just common decency. But here you go. This is your request. Let's check it out.
사건 발생 잊지 못할 사건 치명적인 매력에 홀라 딱 빠져 난 자극하는 넌 정처가 없는 문제야 풀어야 할 숙제야 Can I be a boyfriend 너를 대하는 태도 거짓말 없이 no cap 왜 얘기하고 싶은 말로 가득 찼어 my case 완벽하게 너 멜로디 부족해 You got me losing patience 걷잡을 수 없는 emotion 떠올리는 모습 봐 Never feel alright 수많은 감정이 충돌해 way Rolling in that deep inside my head You got me bad 문장이 제일 신속하게 내게로 moving on my way Why do I keep getting attracted 자석같이 끌려가 I cannot explain this reaction 이거밖에 one for three Why do I keep getting attracted 네 모습만 떠올라 I cannot explain this emotion one for three I love you 없지 않아 생각하고 I love you so let go to gonna let you know oh 너 말고 높은 사랑받지 break break 원하는 대로 불러도 돼 코딩 욕심이 내도 되고 싶은 소리 마음은 점점 더 unbreak You got me losing patience 걷잡을 수 없는 emotion 떠올리는 모습 I never feel alright 수많은 감정이 충돌해 wait Rolling in the deep inside my head You got me bad 문장의 제일 신속하게 내게로 moving on my way Why do I keep getting attracted 자석같이 끌려가 I cannot explain this reaction 이거밖에 one for three Why do I keep getting attracted 네 모습만 떠올라 I cannot explain this emotion one for three I love you
나의 모든 상태 지금 with you 너의 모습 ain't no false 나의 속마음 다시 repeat
Walking next to you but I'm falling 깊게 빠져들어 끌리지 You're pulling me deeper and deeper I try to get out but I can't stop Can I be the one? Can I be the one? 모호하게 도전해 오그라드는 표현 머릿속이 띵하고 무감정은 소절
moving I will not wait
Why do I keep getting attracted 네 모습만 떠올라 I cannot explain this emotion one, four, three, I love you
Why do I keep getting attracted 자석같이 끌려가 I cannot explain this reaction
I'm gonna let you know I'm just gonna go I hope it's so bad I'll let it go I'm gonna let you know And I'm just gonna go Yeah, 난 너에게로 지금 출발하면 네가 바로 living Never let it go No, I cannot explain this emotion one, four, three, I love you
That was great, actually. I like that. Star Material. Stray Kids, case 143. Here we go. Wink Martindale. Yeah, the TV show Tic Tac Dough. I used to love that game show when I was a kid. I had no idea he was a singer. Here we go. Deck of Cards by request.
During the North African campaign, a bunch of soldier boys had been on a long hike. They arrived in a little town called Casino. The next morning, being Sunday, several of the boys went to church. A sergeant commanded the boys in church, and after the chaplain had read the prayer, the text was taken up next. Those of the boys who had a prayer book took them out, but this one boy had only a deck of cards, and so he spread them out. A sergeant saw the cards and said, "Soldier, put away those cards." After the service was over, the soldier was taken prisoner and brought before the provost marshal. The marshal said, "Sergeant, why have you brought this man here?" "For playing cards in church, sir." "And what have you to say for yourself, son?" "Much, sir," replied the soldier. The marshal said, "I hope so. For if not, I shall punish you more than any man was ever punished." The soldier said, "Sir, I have been on the march for about 6 days. I had neither Bible nor prayer book. But I hope to satisfy you, sir, with the purity of my intentions." And with that, the boy started the story. "You see, sir, when I look at the ace, it reminds me there is but one God. The deuce reminds me that the Bible is divided into 2 parts, the Old and the New Testaments. When I see the tray, I think of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And when I see the 4, I think of the 4 evangelists who preached the gospel. There was Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And when I see the 5, it reminds me of the 5 wise virgins who trimmed their lamps. There were 10 of them. 5 were wise and were saved. 5 were foolish and were shut out. When I see the 6, it reminds me that in 6 days God made this great heaven and earth. And when I see the 7, it reminds me that on the 7th day God rested from his great work. And when I see the 8, I think of the 8 righteous persons God saved when he destroyed this earth. There was Noah, his wife, their sons, and their wives. And when I see the 9, I think of the lepers our Savior cleansed, and 9 out of the 10 didn't even thank him. When I see the 10, I think of the 10 commandments God handed down to Moses on a table of stone. And when I see the King, it reminds me there is but one King of heaven, God Almighty. And when I see the Queen, I think of the Blessed Virgin Mary, who is Queen of Heaven, and the jackanapes is the devil. When I count the number of spots on a deck of cards, I find 365, the number of days in a year. There are 52 cards, the number of weeks in a year. There are 4 suits, the number of weeks in a month. There are 12 picture cards, the number of months in a year. There are 13 tricks, the number of weeks in a quarter. So you see, sir, my pack of cards serves me as a Bible, an almanac, and a prayer book. And friends, the story is true. I know I was that soldier.
I feel like I want to go to Las Vegas. Deck of cards. Wink Martindale. That was interesting. I thought he was going to sing. That was an interesting little story there. Look, this show is not religious. I'm a Christian, damn it. And I try to follow the YouTube rules and all that stuff. So that was borderline. That was something about Las Vegas. But it's amazing. Since this channel has gotten to the point where really I got to follow the YouTube rules. I want to thank the mods and thank all you guys as well for being cool and being clean and so forth. I don't want to get in trouble. So that was borderline. That's up there with gangster rap. I was like, uh-oh, what am I going to do about this one? What is California going to tell me now? Okay, here's something for anybody. I'm going to leave you with this little thing here. I saw this thing last night and on YouTube, and it's under Dave's tribute to Johnny Carson, David Letterman, and it's a YouTube thing. And it's 16 minutes. Oh no, I said start at 16 minutes. And it's I didn't really want to play it on the show because it's kind of something. I just thought I hadn't seen it before, and I saw it last night and I wrote it down. So I thought you might want to check it out because I like to doing this show here. I mean, I know it's Casey Kasem and Wolfman Jack, but I love Johnny Carson and I love David Letterman. I'm trying my best to try to entertain you guys as well. But it really does come down to just play. It's all about the music and stuff. You guys are mega awesome. 3 hours is done. It goes by so quick. I'll be back again every day. This is a daily show, 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time. I'm here live. I'm talking to the lurkers and the new people. The show is broadcast live from Venice Beach, Florida. My name is Alec Whittier. Thank you guys for watching. It is closing time. Ciao for now.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl. Closing time. One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. Take me home. Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. Closing time. This room won't be open till your brothers or your sisters come. So gather up your jackets, move it to the exits. I hope you have found a friend. Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Yeah, I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. I know I want to take me home. Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.